All right, gents, I'm gonna go because you guys are boring
Yeah,
as fuck. Rob,
we
great
are.
meeting you, man. Come back on.
Thanks. Nice to meet you
Come
too.
back. All right,
Oh,
cheers.
where do I
Yes,
put this thing,
that's what she
Brian?
said.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 29 of 2024. I'm Chris Louie, and looking forward to some time off next week. With me, I have my co-host, the Hot Dad, who already used up his vacation days this summer.
So what are you talking about, man? All you do is vacation and sit around, cook food all day. I feel like you're on permanent PTO nowadays. And you're right. I'm all done vacationing for the summer. I am officially broke.
That's a secret, Brian. Just let my secret out. You gotta out me on the podcast.
It's the truth. You're a green egg guy kind of.
That he almost blew up.
I didn't. You
That
two
bad.
did.
Yeah.
I read the instructions. I remember to burp the grill.
Burp the grill. Dude, this... Whatever. You and your nonsense.
No one cares about burping the grill.
Burp you big old baby.
I still have all my arm hair and
four-eyed
eyebrows
baby.
unlike you two.
I have my eyebrows. So don't have much arm hair right now. That's okay, though.
Well, he did have a head of hair last week, and that's all done.
Bro, that would be so cool. I was on YouTube and there's like you can like fly to like India, Bangalore maybe. I was like they're gonna like, do hair transplants. I'm like, huh. And then I'm like watching it and then I'm like, well, that would never work for me because I lasered all the hair off my head, so they couldn't even take the good hair that was left and reimplant it. So I'm just gonna be a bald guy
You
forever.
lasered your hair? Wait a minute here. You lasered
So,
your
hey,
hair?
wait,
really?
pause here. Let's take a step back.
Yeah. I got tired of shaving it, so my wife was doing like the laser hair removal, like for like her underarms or something like that. And I was like, I went in there. I was like, "Can you guys do my head?" They're like, "Sure." Man, that crap hurt. That was like no joke. Every orifice from me was sweating every time, and I had to go in there for like five treatments. Like it was rough, man. Like they blow cold air on it, but it's still lasering it off. Like it was wild.
I heard it feels like someone snapping a rubber band on you repeatedly.
Yeah. Top of the head, not so
That-
much, probably because I had no hair there, but around the sides, the old horseshoe was in pain, that's for sure.
All right.
That's crazy.
We have laser hair removal Brian then. That's gonna be
Yeah.
his new nickname.
That's what happens when you get to my age, boys. Just looking for easy way out.
I think you were balding at 20, so I don't think it has an age thing.
I think you might have been right. I started shaving my head when I was 18. I figured it was going to happen sometime, so. At
Yeah,
some
that
point, it
doesn't-
went from
Right.
being my choice to like, no, it was nature's.
That and the fact you look like a grown man at 12, right? So you already had that beard at 12 years old.
I'm going
Hit
to
that
share a photo
puberty
of you
early.
guys of me the last time I was on a horse. Let me see if I can share that on the old group chat. You'll get a kick out of it. It wasn't in Italy either.
All right. And we have Glenn Medina, or should we call him CSG because one of Brian's friends hates his audio setup.
Is it my audio setup, or is it just the way I talk and laugh?
Just the audio. For some reason, he doesn't
Who
think
knows?
he doesn't think your mic is as good as ours.
I've got the same mic you have,
You do?
Brian.
Do you have?
Yes. Oh, the Blue Yeti.
Yeah. Do you have the Thunderdome cover for it?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
But I think when we record, typically the boom is far away, and maybe that's why it's not that great.
I think.
But today,
Yeah.
for your friend, I put the boom lower closer to my mouth. It's like right here. You can't see it. So,
It's there somewhere.
yeah, it's there. It's right here. See it?
I think what Chris does is he uses an AI filter to make you sound more feminine. And that's the reason why. You got to listen to these
Could
things.
be.
Filter.
Could be. So, let's see how your friend likes my audio setup this week.
I'll be honest with you. Out of the three of us, Chris is the only one that his is actually. He's like Howard Stern. His thing is like modified. It makes it sound like deeper and like more bass. You meet him in real person. He's like, "Hi guys, my name is Chris. How's it going? I really like rainbows and butterflies."
It's that AI
Well,
filter I use on the stream. That's right.
Hey
Brian.
now.
I'm hoping one of these days we can monetize this so that way we all can get a really nice audio setup.
Homie could monetize already, just chooses not to. Doesn't want the tax
Yeah.
problems.
It's true.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're not sellouts. We do it for fun. We
I
do it
could
for the
be a
tech.
sellout. No, I could be a sellout. I'm sorry.
Do it for the grind.
Well, when you have your own podcast, Glenn, you can sell out.
You keep talking. This is our podcast, Christopher.
Our podcast.
Well,
yeah.
me and Glenn will ditch you in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
PEBCAK
let's
2.
start
The
our own.
producer, the editor, the host, the founder.
All
You
right,
speak
Rob,
with
do you want to start a
forked
podcast with us where we can make money?
Hell yeah.
Chris is a
Let's do it.
There you go. See?
Chris is a
Gonna
snake
boot
all
me
of a
off.
sudden.
I know.
I know.
You're going to Steve Jobs me, kick me out of my own company. Our guest this week is Rob Chi. Rob works on the public sector side over here at Zscaler and is also a cybersecurity enthusiast, so I think you'll fit right in here. Welcome to the show, Rob. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. I'm glad I was able to participate in this. Long-time listener, first-time participant. So pretty excited to be part of this. I'm glad I get to talk to you at our Zenith Live and talk to you about the podcast and the possibility of joining. But so for me, just a little personal stuff. I'm a big hiker. I'm on the East Coast, so the Appalachian
hiker,
Trail
hard
is
R.
near us.
Wow.
Yeah,
Did
Appalachian
you say
Trail.
you're a big piker?
Hiker.
Did you say you're a piker?
Piker.
Oh, okay.
Her.
Just kidding. Just
But,
kidding.
Not a-
Yeah, so
not a
we're
fake,
actually going to Yosemite this year. So coming out to your neck.
Bro,
Oh,
you're going
nice.
to love it, man. It is
Yeah.
beautiful. That is God's
Yeah.
country right there.
Combined, we have decades of information security experience here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 fantastic stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about the FBI versus your phone, Singapore doing something right for online banking. For our third topic, we give you yet another reason to hate AT&T, and close with Prime Day talk. For our first topic, this past Saturday, a horrific and despicable act happened where a believed lone gunman attempted to assassinate former President Trump at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Thankfully, the former president survived and the assailant was killed by the U.S. Secret Service counter-snipers. As with all domestic terrorism investigations, the U.S. FBI took the lead in the investigation and was eager to crack into the shooter's phone to look for clues on why he did it and what warning signs they may have missed. Well, just after a day, the FBI was able to break into the phone, and just like the FBI versus Apple after the San Bernardino terrorist attack in 2015, learned absolutely nothing they did not already know, so they're back at square one.
He was
This case,
good OPSEC, right? Lone shooter with
Exactly.
great OPSEC. How is that possible?
This case just highlights how far the FBI has come in breaking into people's phones as part of their investigative capabilities. They famously paid a record $700,000 to an Israeli company to break into one iPhone back in 2015, and now they have the capability to do it in-house, open sesame, the shooter's phone, in a day.
So is this a case for Android now?
Is that password 1234? Is that what they try first?
The FBI would not say what kind of phone it was. It could be like a Huawei or a ZTE. It could be the iPhone 15. Who knows?
I was laughing. They showed a picture, and I was like, I think on Twitter, and they're like, 100% this guy's got a creepy Reddit account. I was like, oh boy.
He's a Reddit mod.
Yeah.
Reddit mods are mad. One of theirs got killed.
Can you imagine?
But I don't think, missed the signs. I think there was also signs that I guess the local police had him already on a list that they were supposed to go visit, but they didn't, or they were on their way to go visit him when he made those shots. But again, that's still to be fleshed out. But the fact that they can break into phones now pretty quickly is pretty amazing, unless they just got authorization from his parents, because I assume he lived at home, right? So
The other thing people were speculating was that they used the guy's fingerprint. Like, well, they have his finger. Maybe they use the fingerprint ID or Face ID or something to unlock it. Maybe,
I don't know about the
or
Face ID.
Maybe they have some.
That guy did not look like very alive.
Maybe fingerprint ID then.
Well, maybe you know what? That's a good point. Maybe they were able to like kind of clean him up, because I did see the photo of him after he got shot. And my wife is like, she's not about that kind of stuff. So I handed her my phone to show her, and I was like, I wouldn't swipe left or right if I were you. She goes, why not? I goes, there's pictures on here you don't want to see, hon.
And then she definitely did, didn't she?
No, she did not. She's like, she does not like that kind of
She
stuff.
heeded that warning.
Yeah.
yeah.
I tell her, you can go through my phone. I said, but just be warned. You go through the old Chris Louis group chat, just know that there's going to be stuff in there you don't want to see.
Probably.
And it's always from Chris, not from Glenn. It's always Chris.
Glenn sent some zingers recently.
I did? What did I do now?
You sent some inappropriate stuff to the group chat recently.
Just me. I think everybody sends inappropriate stuff to the group chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
about?
everyone does it. Brian's just blaming me, but I'm saying everybody does.
No, I've done some really hard ones, especially about Brian.
Whatever. I will say, like, outside of this whole like getting into the phone thing, which we can speculate how they did it so quickly. I just want to go to where the rally was held and like just look at it, because I look at everything online in the pictures and all that stuff. I'm like, how the hell, like, forget the fact that he even got on top of this thing with a ladder somehow, gone unnoticed. I'm like, how the heck did the Secret Service not be like, look at that area, survey that area, and not be like, what would be a great spot for us to like just hide up there and sit right there? Like, if I was trying to protect the president, I would think that would have been one of the places that would have been sitting on top of, just in case, not wide open. It just kind of blew my mind. But again, we're looking at it online. We don't really know what it looks like in person. Maybe it wasn't. I have no idea.
So the director of the Secret Service, Kim Cheadle, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Somebody specifically asked her that question during a recent interview, and she actually said we did not put a team up there because the roof is sloped, and we didn't want anybody to potentially fall off.
That thing looked as flat as my
Slope,
high school girlfriend, bro.
What is she talking about? What slope is she talking about?
I'm not here to defend her. She's not here to defend herself, but that's what she said in the interview.
Bro,
she said
they dropped that guy like a bag of mashed potatoes, and he did not fall off. He just laid
fall off.
Yeah. Like, he was sloped that bad. But whatever. Again, maybe there was multiple tiers to it. I have no idea. Terrible. And then I think you sent a video over. I didn't realize that there was 2 bullets that were that close to hitting Trump. I thought it was
3.
Just 1.
I think it was 3.
Was it 3, really? Jeez.
Yeah.
And
yeah, fired in rapid succession, and yeah.
Let's not.
Well, whatever it was, the guy missed. So thank goodness.
Let's not forget the innocent bystanders. 1 killed and 2 injured.
2 seriously wounded.
Rest in peace. That part's messed up, man. The whole thing's messed up. But just my first thought when I was watching that was, I guarantee you, there's people on the right side of the stage, right? If you're looking at the stage, there's got to be. And I just had a gut feeling. Someone said they can actually see someone drop instantly when it happened. I didn't see that in the video at all. Did you guys?
Wow.
No, I didn't see it either. Just goes to show, even you can have, back in the days of FBI versus Apple, and FBI says, Apple, you must program a skeleton key backdoor that we can open up at any time, and we're going to save lives that way. We're going to stop terrorist attacks. And it just goes to show the FBI cracked into this guy's phone one day after and learned absolutely nothing.
So you think they caved? Do you think Apple caved on that one?
No.
I doubt it. No.
Some quiet bill happened and Apple said, okay, here, we'll give you a backdoor.
I think it's more likely his password is either his fingerprint or I hate Trump. Something stupid like that. I guess really predictable. Rob, are you in DC since you covered the Fed?
Yeah.
What's the temperature like over there with all of this stuff going on? Is it wiling out? Are people evenly tempered?
Yeah, pretty much evenly tempered. I mean, it's just like probably the exact same thing. I mean, everything's across social media and everything, so nothing big's been happening. Well, of course, I am in like the suburbs of DC, so I'm not seeing what's happening like in downtown DC right now either. I'm sure they're like defenses are going up a little bit and things like that. They're on high alert, but I haven't seen anything.
Right on. Yeah, I definitely have that feeling. I mean, it should be across the board. You got to take care of these people for sure.
Yeah, I think RFK now has the Secret Service detail, and I think I saw a headline. I didn't read into it, but there's a headline yesterday that said there's yet another plot from Iran to try to assassinate Trump again. So they're trying to up his Secret Service protection. There's maybe a credible threat against it, but no details on that. If it was signals, intercept, or chatter, or human intelligence on the ground.
That's interesting. I think there should just be a threat against Iran everywhere. I don't know. For everybody, every U.S. citizen. Speaking of which,
Iran.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Iran is particularly upset with former President Trump because he Trump greenlit the assassination of the equivalent of their Secretary of Defense or their 5-star General Soleimani a couple years ago. So they have a score to settle with him.
Wait, didn't they lose someone in a helicopter crash though?
That was the president. Yeah. That was an accident.
CIA doing the Lord's work apparently. So I have no idea.
Hopefully they eventually tell us what kind of phone they had, because if it was an Android, it's like, all right, well, yeah, Android 0 day. But if it was an iPhone, I think that's a cause.
Well, they won't, because then everybody will stop using it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. They don't want to tip their hand and give away their capabilities.
I still should have bought
that has to come out, though. I thought the investigation has to come out, though, right?
Maybe later.
Details and everything?
Yeah, maybe later.
Yeah.
I don't
in
think
due time,
they have to release it now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Did he have a manifesto or anything? Have we found out anything other than just a body?
I don't think so. I think as of today, at least, they've released very few details, and they said throughout the course of their investigation, they've learned very little.
So you actually believe them? But you believe them that they didn't find anything on that phone? I'm sure they found something.
That's a good point, right?
So it's something crude. Yeah. If you believe the narrative, you bring up a good point.
You know what they did find on the phone? The special ingredients to KFC chicken. It was amazing. That's really why he's dead.
13 herbs and spices.
13 herbs and spices, baby.
All right, for our second topic, the country of Singapore is slowly phasing out one-time passcodes as a second factor for authentication. We've often talked about the inefficacy of using SMS-based two-factor authentication for any meaningful security. Malware like information stealers and mobile malware that can read and intercept SMS messages made it trivial to intercept. Also, the system they use to send SMS messages, the Step SS7 system, woefully inadequate, no encryption, no authentication. The commoditization of phishing kits specifically designed to steal two-factor codes like Evil Jinx also likely led the country to phase them out as a secure means of authentication. Instead, Singapore is promoting the use of security tokens as a secure second factor for banking applications. The Singapore government did not name the secure token they are promoting, but based on the way they describe it, it sounds something like a passkey. Another point we often talk about on the show is that SMS-based second factor authentication is still better than no second factor, but it is definitely the weakest form of second factors. In the country of Singapore, digital tokens are already activated for 60 to 90% of the customers of the country's 3 major banks.
Makes me wonder, like, the liability side of things. So if you're a consumer in the U.S., you're not required to have multi-factor authentication. So if you are breached, the bank kind of owns it. It's up for them to figure out and help you. Now, if you have a business account, that's a different thing where they mandate that you have multi-factor authentication. But I'm of the mindset with you, Chris, like anything is better than nothing, right? So if you can get it turned on, I know most of the big banks do it now today.
Yeah, it's something everybody has. Everybody should have a smartphone. Everybody likely has a text message capable phone. Your parents, your aunts, your grandma, they should have a phone capable of doing that. But they're going to take it a step further and require most likely a smartphone and use that as a secure method of authenticating.
What do you guys do when the bank only uses SMS? Do you guys just switch banks?
Yes, change banks. It's time for a new bank.
Yeah, because my bank, I guess they're just coming around the corner finally. They announced that they were going to do audio recognition, and I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
no way. No,
my bank allows passwords longer than 6 digits finally. So there's that. Just kidding.
What about the whole Face ID? Does a Face ID count, or do you feel like that's like not strong enough either?
I think biometric is the strongest. That's why I think, well, it's not just purely Face ID, it's the Face ID tied with the passkey. I think that's the strongest, which is what everyone's trying to move towards. Some biometric plus is some public PKI on a smart device.
Just give me
it's
Neuralink.
Not infallible, but
I just want to have my
it's
money
better than a
stored in my
password.
brain.
Neuralink.
Yeah. It's going to be always connected.
Yeah, because I always do the banking stuff on the phone, so it's
Yeah,
always got my
it's
Face
interesting.
ID and all that.
It's interesting how most banks trust phones now, because I think I think I can confidently say every time I log into my bank from a browser, they always ask for some second factor, either a text message code or a push to the mobile app. But anytime I log in through the phone, it's always single factor. So I guess they assume that something you have, which is your smartphone that's previously enrolled in this banking app, acts as that second factor.
So the bank I'm with still does the Face ID, but they have an OTP tied into it, even on the mobile phone as well, which is good. Didn't AT&T recently, or did they deny that all their phone calls and text messages were leaked?
Well, if you had bothered to read the show notes, that's story number 3 today.
Oh, spoiler alert! I didn't read the show notes, guys.
It's funny, when I was reading this one though, it reminded me like way back in the day, the SANS security courses. I took I think it was like Security Plus or something like that with Eric Cole, who's like teaching. And he was like, this was right when online banking had just first started. And he's like, I will never do online banking. It is so insecure. So at least, I mean, what we're seeing now, like in Singapore, like advances in security are trying to make it as secure as possible. Because you basically have to do it on online banking nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I
Also,
went
the
into
brick
a
and mortar are
physical.
closing down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember the last time you actually had to go into a physical branch, like maybe to get cash, like you get an ATM or something, but for all your day-to-day transactions, bill pay, deposit, everything is mobile now.
I try to make it hard. So when you go to a bank, how you can like give them a credit card, or they give you a card and they have you validate with a PIN. I'm like, I don't have that. I want you to ask me for 2 forms of ID before I pull any money out.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going to make it easy. So I don't have an ATM debit card.
You just cut it when it comes in the mail.
That's it.
Slice and
Sorry,
dice,
Brian,
baby.
Yeah.
Well, that, and it stops the temptation when you go to the casino or a gentleman's club from pulling more cash out.
2 places I never.
Maybe just for you, Chris. Maybe just for
I
you.
knew
Am I
that was
just
coming.
projecting, Glenn?
Could never happen with me. You were going to say something, Brian?
Short-term memory loss, guys. I already forgot.
That's why you write things down, Brian.
I did.
Someone needs some
It says
mushrooms.
AT&T on my piece of paper right here.
You're still on that topic.
We'll get to it. Don't worry, Brian.
And I wrote down $4 for some reason. I'm not too sure why.
So when do you think this is going to happen in the U.S.? When are we actually going to be able to enforce something outside of SMS?
It's going to be a while. It took us this long just to get here, to have somebody use a second factor. Now just tell somebody you have to enroll in this third-party app or set up passkeys using biometrics. It'll take a while.
They'll probably, knowing the U.S., there'll be like a class action lawsuit. It's like, oh, you're making us use our phone. You should pay for it, right? And then a few million people will sign up for it and then get their phones paid for by the bank. We're so happy here.
Yeah. Or it's the opposite, where they can say, if you want to continue your free checking, you have to enroll in these passkeys. And if you want the old SMS based, it's going to be $5 a month. Yeah, I could see that being a thing too.
I will say though, like in
That
Singapore,
would be great.
they did do a good job. They have like across social media, like Facebook or like just online, just how to sign up to use the new method with the tokens.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
trying to make it as
Chrisley.net.
easy as possible. Yeah.
Install the malware. I mean, the application.
Yeah, that's rife for abuse.
I like Singapore. We should go back.
Sort of a side note to that, because there's it's somewhat related. We have a area in downtown, the town I live in. They just started putting parking meters that used to be like free parking all day, and they had this problem that no one would ever move their cars. So now they have parking meters, but it's pay by plate. So you have to go to a machine, or you could scan a QR code and then pay by phone. So what happened was, and tale as old as time, somebody put a malicious QR code up on this sign. So people were scanning it. It looked like a legitimate pay site, but then a month later they get their credit card statement and says, oh, I didn't sign up for this $40 a month streaming service. And all the people had in common was they scanned that QR code that was on that parking sign.
How awesome is that? That's like...
I know what I'm doing at Black Hat. Speaking of free parking, when you guys play Monopoly, how do you guys leverage free parking? I'm curious.
It's $1,000 in the middle to start with, and then every time it's like pay $20 for this fine or whatever, then that goes in the free parking, and then whoever lands on free parking gets the pot.
Is it really $1,000?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. We just, anytime there was a fine, like, oh, you owe property taxes, we would put it in the middle, but I didn't know it started off with $1,000 right there. Is that the legal rule?
No, I think the official Monopoly rule is free parking does nothing.
Yeah, it's just a place to spot. It's just a place to park. That's it, right? It's just a free pass. No action.
You know, freaking this Gen Zer over here at this $1,000 for free. You know, Chris, you're weird.
It's the Bernie Sanders rules.
It's not like it's real money. It's Monopoly money. My gosh. Make up anything you want.
Literal Monopoly money.
Yeah.
What about you, Rob?
So I know
How did you play it? Did you start off with $2 million in free parking?
I don't remember the last time I played Monopoly.
Oh, covert. He's a glowy, guys. Watch out.
Ask me about poker, though.
OPSEC.
Ask me about Texas Hold'em.
Ooh, you Texas
Yeah,
Hold'em?
You play
guy?
Texas Hold'em with your
Hold'em
kids.
player?
I do, actually. Yeah, teach them
like it.
strategy and all that stuff. Play money.
Let's play in at SKO. That should be fun.
You should.
Let's go.
You should.
The only problem
I
with
wanna
that is
play
like, it takes so long. You got to sit there for hours. You can't just play for like, like sitting at a blackjack table and play for 10 minutes or something like that.
But I'm sure the crowd we would attract to play, they're just going to go all in, like every hand, all in.
True.
Try to push everybody out.
Like if we play like 25-50, maybe the money will last longer, but I know there's some obnoxious person just going to go all in every hand.
Victor DeLuca.
Yeah.
I know,
All
Vic.
in.
No concept.
I know the three of us hosts have talked about it on the show, but Rob, for you, when you go to a restaurant that only offers QR code menus, what do you do?
I have a lot of trust built into me. So I'll scan the QR code. See what
Scan
happens.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm running Zscaler client connector. I'm good.
That's right.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
I don't.
You scan?
I don't scan. Yeah, I don't scan stickers. I'll scan the menu, but I won't scan stickers. So.
Yeah, I've been to places where they actually like etch the QR code into like a block of wood. So I'm like, okay, that's way more secure than a sticker or a piece of paper.
In Rome, it was chiseled into stone. So, pretty secure.
Yeah, you got that going for you.
Also wasn't
Someone
true.
like
They built that like 1,000 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Someone chisels a little bit out of it and then directs you to the malware site.
That is true though, because yeah, I mean, I'll do it if it's on the menu, but yeah, if it's just a sticker on the table, yeah, I wouldn't do it there. But yeah,
Even then,
there are a bunch of
context
restaurants are
matters.
going to that. Yeah, so I like it.
QR
actually,
codes
'cause-
that allow you to join the Wi-Fi with the password are amazing.
Oh, this is a generator. I have one on my phone, so I have a guest net here. And then whenever someone asks to jump onto my guest net, I just show them the QR code and they scan it, and then it auto joins them.
Oh.
They have a lot of
Then it
trust in me that I'm not going
It downloads the SSL certificate and installs.
Sends it to chrislouis.net/malware.
Yeah, such a nice guy.
All right, for our third topic, since Brian is like eagerly jumping out of his seat trying to get here, and this will be our "Are You Kidding Me?" segment of the week. Last week, U.S. telecom giant AT&T disclosed a massive hack where threat actors were able to download the entire phone call and text message records for a 6-month period in 2022 of their, get this, 110 million customers due to an insecure Snowflake account. AT&T did confirm that access to the data was protected by only a username and a password with no multi-factor authentication. This appears to be a massive OPSEC failure and could be disastrous if this data falls into the wrong hands. This not only affects AT&T customers, but also non-customers that were contacted by AT&T customers. Unfaithful spouses out there, beware. This could be a follow-up to the Ashley Madison breach if you used your main phone number for your extramarital affairs. And just as a breaking news, The Record, which is the media arm of Recorded Future, has unconfirmed reports that AT&T paid a ransom of approximately $370,000 to the threat actor to not release the data. Now, I have one word for you: sellouts.
Why?
They paid the paid the ransom.
Why pay it, or why not?
It's more of like a buyout, not a sellout. What are you talking about?
They did sell out. They should have, number one, had multi-factor authentication on their Snowflake account. Number two, don't give in to extortionists.
Can't we just tell?
Hold on, I think go back. Snowflake didn't have MFA, right? That's what they got in trouble for.
Yeah, so it's AT&T's fault for not turning it on, and Snowflake's fault for not making it mandatory.
Not enforcing it, yeah.
I'm with you guys on that. But honestly, like, let's say that some dude or chick is having an extramarital affair. You're not going to find anything if it's related to iMessage or a FaceTime call. Like, that's not going to be in there. Correct. So you got to hope the idiot that you're cheating on them with is on Samsung. Yeah, another. Yeah, a green bubble. Green bubbles, not here for anyone. What else could actually be in there? Is there like, No. Hey, let's think about. I'm an AT&T customer, so all my information's in there. What, from a phone call perspective, what do you guys think is there? Like, man, this guy orders a lot of Domino's. Like, I don't.
So this is audio calls? These are audio calls that they got
recorded? Purely metadata. Yeah. Metadata.
Just
so I know which person called who, how long they spoke. That's about it.
Okay. Well, they got some of the tower data too, so location-wise, they could triangulate all that kind of stuff too.
Geolocated user. Like if some person was supposed to be in Las Vegas, but they were actually in Chicago, then that's a problem.
Just like anything else, it's a lot of data. It's what do you do with it, right? And how do you monetize that? I think is where they're probably up against.
Yeah, that's a massive amount of data. Well, it's over that is 1.1 terabytes of data.
Glenn's freaking out because he orders a lot of boner pills on this 1-800 number. So, just kidding. Edit that out, please, Chris. 35-minute-ish mark for you, bud.
I know. Every time Brian says that, I'm like, I think I'll keep it in.
Well, I'm the one that attacked. I'm not making fun of myself. I went after Glenn that time, so I feel bad.
It's okay. It's all good.
Yeah,
what comes around goes around.
I know. You don't feel bad about all the times you make fun of me.
Definitely don't. Yeah. Fair game.
I thought when I first read this report that they paid the ransom first sellout, but $370,000 that seemed extraordinarily low, like for the damage they could have done to AT&T. This was like a bargain.
So I gotta ask, if you were to take a security report from AT&T, what would you do with it right now? If they said, hey, here's our best practices, this is from the security team at AT&T, we're here to provide you, consulting or whatnot, would you go, why would I ever accept any type of intelligence from you guys, or actually any recommendations, since you can't even control your own house? Did you think that?
It's some places it's hard to eat your own dog food. Like a lot of places promote it. Like when I was at Citrix, we used a lot of the Citrix stuff ourselves because they said we should eat our own dog food and practice what we preach, and to some extent here as well. But I would take caution with that and say, what you're recommending to me, do you do it yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I think everything you do, Chris, is, we recommend are things that we practice, right? We don't talk about doing things that we don't do ourselves, right? Using a password safe of some kind, using multi-factor authentication. I think we all try to apply those things. And again, that's what I think we're trying to educate here more than anything else. But practice what you preach, do what you do, and do the minimal, I think is what I always say.
Do the needful.
When it comes to security. Yeah, do the needful.
In reference to your whole, eat your own dog food, the one analogy that I hate that people say is no, we don't do that. We drink our own champagne. I'm like, have analogies gone too far? Can we just leave it at dog food, please? Jesus.
But yeah,
I
I
will
think
tell you
AT&T is
what.
just.
Oh, go ahead, Rob.
I was just gonna say AT&T is so huge that it's tough for them to like follow the same security measures on the commercial side, with the phones as the consulting side as well.
And I think it's a valid question. Like if AT&T Cyber walks up to me and says, "Hey, we offer SSPM, Security Posture Management," and I said, "Well, do you run it? Do you scan your own systems?" It would have showed you that Snowflake has single factor authentication for admins.
Yeah.
Whoopsie
So,
daisy.
so here's one for you guys. I mean, and I don't know if either of our products could solve this. The unmanaged device that opens a tenant that is not managed as well, right? So not owned by the corporation, right? So ABC company has their own ABC tenant, their traditional corporate tenant from ABC company, and then you open your own account there outside of the premise of your corporation, of your company. That's shadow IT at its finest, right? How do you stop that? And don't tell me you stick a SASE in front of there and you intercept all their traffic. I'm talking about unmanaged devices here.
So you would do it with app total, right? So that would be scouring the logs of your tenant to find out like what devices are coming in. So like that cloud to cloud stuff. The use case there would be like, let's say you have a user and they're going out to like 1-800cookies.com to send people stuff, and it was like, hey, I noticed that you're sending mass amounts of cookies to people around the world. How about I make your life easier? Just sign in with your salesforce.com credentials, right? And then I will assume your identity, import all the information, and then autofill it to make your life easier. The problem is this third-party tool now can go into salesforce.com and pull everything this user has access to.
Right. You have to grant it permissions.
Yeah. So, and that's where you look at logs and then revoke the permissions of that third party coming in.
I think the key word here is unmanaged. Unmanaged devices should never have access to corporate data in a way that you can download it. So whether it's your product or our
OneDrive
product,
for grandmas, though, that's a legitimate app. Come on now, let it go.
You do browser isolation. You can do prevent copy paste, prevent file download. That corporate data should stay in a corporate environment and not touch that unmanaged device.
Should, but what if they create one that's outside of the premise of that, right? So
that's fine.
Let's
you
say
can
I
create
go,
your own,
I
but
go,
then you'll never be able to copy corporate data into it.
Yeah, unless you use. What if you use your corporate email? Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, I mean that's where you create boundaries. That my corporate device will access corporate OneDrive. My personal device can only access personal OneDrive. My personal device should never access corporate OneDrive, and vice versa. My corporate device should never access personal OneDrive, and there's lots of controls that you can set up around that. There you go. That was a $500 consulting fee, Glenn. Solved that one.
I don't think you solved anything for me.
How about the Zscaler Goon
Probably
Squad?
raised more questions.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that new technology we have, Glenn?
The Goon Squad?
Yeah, the Zscaler Goon Squad. So anytime you start to, let's say that you do that scenario and you're into like exfil data, one keystroke at a time. Forget copy and paste. So someone just comes over to your head and hits you over the head with a brick. It's super expensive, doesn't exist, but it'd be pretty wild if it did.
SEAL Team Z.
Yeah.
Is that like, it's like the Zscaler version of Geek Squad?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing from Best Buy? So,
the Goonies, baby. So
they have bricking authority, which the Geek Squad does not.
I'll tell you what. So looking at this, for $370,000, I would have paid the threat actor for that information solely if I could find out phone numbers to people that are actually paying the bill. So if I could find out LeBron James' phone number, then I would have been like, I would have got on Craigslist and went to like Males Seeking Males and said, it's my birthday, send me a picture of your junk. And I would have used LeBron James' phone number. And then he just gets random photos sent to him to eternity until he gets a new phone number. That would have been worth it. $370K,
So
well
kinda-
spent.
$370,000. Yeah.
What is that? That's like swatting, but I don't know, call that swaddling.
Swaddling. Harassment.
Yeah. That would have been fun. people. What's funny is like I don't understand how LeBron James is polarizing. There's so many fans out there, and they get really bent out of shape when I make fun of them. But it is what it is. The flop.
For our last topic, and it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about the just past Prime Day at Amazon. I guess it should be Prime Days. This year, Amazon is expected to amass $14 billion in revenue over the 2-day event. As is our tradition, we always talk about Tiwoo, things we won't use. So what is on your shopping list, or what did you already buy this year for Prime Day?
I only bought one thing, and it's because you told me. I got my wife a pair of AirPod Pro Maxes for her birthday because they're like $120 cheaper, I think. So thank you for that.
Happy birthday.
Thankfully, she doesn't listen, so it won't spoil her gift.
Yeah. She is not a listener. How about you guys?
I got a pickleball launcher thing, so I can
Like, why am I not
practice
surprised?
pickleball.
Right on brand.
Oh my gosh.
Right
It's
on brand.
40% off, man. Gotta get it.
A pickleball
Was
what?
it do lunch balls at you?
Yeah,
Cut
so
off.
you can practice and hit them. Yeah.
Pickleball launcher.
Yep.
Nice.
I don't know what you
I
call
remember
it.
those old tennis ball machines with thump,
Yeah, basically that. Yeah.
but something like that. But because pickleball is like a little wiffle ball,
Yeah,
does
yeah.
that have like holes in it?
It's not like it is a wiffle ball,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Today I learned.
I bought a whole bunch of stuff. Bought some umbrellas for the pool. Those were like 20-30% off, and then I bought some Ring cameras, which were about 50% off. So yeah, not bad.
Here's an opposite question, Glenn. Do you put Ring cameras inside your house or only outside?
Toilet cam.
I put them on my neighbor's house to point at my house. Yeah. No, I OPSEC. I mean, I shouldn't be talking about this, but I put them around. I don't like to put them inside the house. Only when I leave on vacation do I put cameras in strategic spots in the house. But I do have them watching the dog area. So because I want to see what the dogs are doing while I'm in my office.
Just make sure they're not messing around and chewing on things.
Yeah, the little one likes to get into the garbage and eat toilet paper. It's
Delicious.
disgusting.
Yeah.
You know you can
Yeah.
flush that stuff, right?
Yeah, don't talk to me about that. I've got a different set of issues there, Deech. It ain't me. I've got a bidet.
There you go. Hose that thing off.
Yeah, I use internet connected cameras for the exterior, but for the interior, I actually air gap them so that they don't join they're on the Wi-Fi, but they don't connect out to the open internet, so I can only look at it when I'm on the local LAN or when I'm using ZPA to come into my local LAN when I'm remote.
So where do you have these cameras, like pointing in the master bedroom? Are you recording your own little fun activities inside there? What's going on, Chris?
It's more like watching the exterior doors. Like we have, actually I shouldn't say too much about our security here, but we have controls around the exterior doors, but we have additional cameras pointing at them and motion sensors to make sure, because even if like you don't set off you don't trip the alarm by opening a door, sometimes you just break the window, so you have to have compensating controls for that. You have noise break, glass break sensors and motion sensors as well.
Yeah,
You need it because you live in the hood, so makes sense.
he does. He does.
See, I bought a bunch of discounted gift cards. I sent you guys the link. I don't know if Glenn thought it was worth the few extra clicks to save 15 to 20% on these.
What
gift
brands
cards
did you
or
go
not,
with?
But at least
Like
to
Best
me,
Buy or what?
I did Uber, I did Lyft, I did DoorDash, Chipotle, obviously, and Panera.
Why is
But
Chipotle
don't you
obvious? I
get
didn't know
more-
you eat that.
Love Chipotle.
Yeah. So I asked you. So the rebate on those for credit cards is like 2%, 3% at restaurants versus buying the gift card for $20 off.
20%.
I guess the math. 20% is higher than the rebate cost.
So you get 20% off the gift card, and then since I have an Amazon Prime card, I get 5% back too. So that's like 25% off.
That's not. Oh, I gotcha.
See, I do the math. Glenn's like, math makes my head hurt. I'm just going to pay full price all the time.
It does. It does. It does.
And then I bought a cast iron grill for the egg, which I think will make the steak searing a lot better.
Oh yeah, I love cast iron. We have like 2 cast iron pans for the house.
Yeah, you never get quite a good sear unless you really use good quality cast iron.
Yeah.
You gotta just have some good heat on the grill, right? You just gotta get it up to.
Yeah, I mean, even with good heat
500.
though, but nothing beats cast iron.
On the
500
Chipotle
plus
thing,
cast
is there a
iron.
dollar limit? Can I do like $1,000, save $200?
I think it's 50, and you get 10 back or 10 off, and I think there might be a limit of 1. So if you have an account, your wife has an account, each of your kids has an account, you can buy multiple that way. But I believe it's limit 1 per account because you have to put in the promo code.
Yeah, I don't think $50 even covers 1 meal. Damn it.
I got to do this though. Yeah.
Yeah, was it Hajni that was on the show? He said there's a trick you can like give them a side look and they'll give you more meat. I still have to go in store to try that.
The side look? I thought you just asked for more meat after they've started your burrito.
You could try doing that, but it's also like you give them that kind of look, like till you head a little bit to the side, and they're supposed to give you more.
You guys
And
want to know
then-
how to get the hookup? It's so simple. You just do this everywhere. You walk up, and when they say, "What do you want?" you say, "Hi, what's your name? How are you doing today?" And they're like, "My name
Hello,
is..."
best friend.
Yes, you do that, and
Yeah,
people are
best friend.
I'm telling, like, you guys think I'm crazy, but like, just a little goodwill goes such a long way.
It does. It's true. Yeah, there's that report. Speaking of Chipotle, some analyst at Wells Fargo ordered like 75 burrito bowls from like 13 different Chipotles in New York, and it was crazy, the variance in it. I think it was like 10 ounces, like the heaviest bowl to the lightest bowl. And you always order the same thing every single time, every single store. And it was like a 10-ounce variance from the heaviest to the lightest one. So it just varies.
Wow.
I live my life in pounds, so I don't know what 10 ounces is.
I can tell you this much: if I'm working for minimum wage, I'm giving you as much meat as you want inside of your bowl.
It's not coming out of your
Who the hell am I
paycheck.
to stop you? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you know, a Chipotle manager, at least in Arizona, will make at least, like a store manager makes about 120 grand a year. They get on average right around 50 grand in RSUs, and they get a vehicle for 1 penny a month. Like a smart vehicle, not a smart vehicle, but like a greener type of car as well.
So you say you found your next role.
All right, here's my letter of resignation. I'm out.
Yeah.
Going to Chipotle, baby.
Free
Chipotle.
burritos for life.
I'll never forget the first time I had it. Some guy randomly got us Tron at my work, and he's like, "Yeah, I got us Chipotle." I was like, "The hell is Chipotle, man?" But it was delicious, and I can't stop eating it.
Now you're hooked for life.
Hooked for life.
Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, our guest Rob is up.
Robert.
Oh. Can I do a joke and then a something else too?
You
Go
can
for
murder
it.
someone in front of me. I wouldn't care.
All right, here's my joke. A sweater I was wearing was picking up static electricity, so I decided to return it. They gave me a new one free of charge. Ah,
Yes.
Wow, wow, wow.
All right.
Wow.
Nice.
this is a good one. This is like just a good phrase to provide you with a little bit of more knowledge. So, knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
Oh. Mm.
You don't eat tomatoes in your fruit salad?
I do not.
Yummy, yummy. Fruit salad. Don't remember that.
Not
It was
me.
one of the.
All right, to wrap things up, the FBI is getting good at breaking into phones. Singapore is phasing out one-time passwords. AT&T bent the knee and paid the ransom. And don't buy things you won't use. That's all we have for this week. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to all our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify, and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. My co-host Brian Deitch and Glenn Medina, and our guest Rob Chi. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next weekend. As always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Have a nice day.